Good evening. I come to you this Dr. Martin Luther King holiday in perseverance for freedom, justice, and equality. I'm the veteran, Judicial Miller, petitioner of the Constitution's checks and balances before the President of the United States. As you see here, the Constitution checks and balances, and as you also see, a transfer of power. Transfer of power is to the citizen. It's the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And when the government is corrupt, it empowers the citizens, and I am that man. This has been submitted to the CIA to execute the indictments and disperse $500 million to me of $6.75 billion of which I'm owed for continued oppression by the government. This is the Judicial Branch of government which has done this. Again, the entire Judicial Branch of government is corrupt. When the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland, as you see, filed and get a good picture of that seal there. Yep, got that seal. Then you know it's real. As the petitioner, as I said, I'm empowered to stop police brutality. I'm empowered to stop inequality. And I'm empowered to stop social injustice. And as I say, this is done using the Constitution's checks and balances. Here we have irrefutable evidence, impossible to deny or disprove what the word irrefutable means. So they're caught and trying to conceal the Constitution checks and balances, which is mandatory by law, which upholds the integrity of the Constitution, absolutely necessary to stop corruption and abuse of power. These are the trial transcripts of which I spoke on, being irrefutable evidence. Here we have at this point, there is no black people in the jury and there were no black people in the jury panel. We have a right to object to that. I tell you that I don't believe, listen, the law will not support it. I think that if we want to do that, we need to do it right now. And as I said, yeah, we'll object to that right now. Object to having an all-white jury, which is against the law. My client objects to the fact that none of the veneer men nor the jury are black people. And that is based upon an assertion that he is entitled to a jury of his peers. The fact that there are no black people within this veneer, I think, causes this jury not to be a jury of my client's peers. I'm going to show it to you in paper and writing, the transcripts, irrefutable evidence. By that I mean I don't think Indiana's in full compliance with the federal government motor voter registration law. As a result of that, we don't get a fair cross-section in the veneer, and as a result of that, my client's rights under the federal and state constitution to a fair and impartial jury as mandated through the 14th Amendment and through the federal legislation, I think that's been violated. This is what we're telling the judge right there. Then, yes, exclusion of jurors on account of race. See, no citizen possessing all other qualifications which are or may be prescribed by law shall be disqualified for service as grand or petit juror in any court of the United States. Once again, that's the law. But once again, as you see and saw, there are no black people. What the judge does now is a violation of Title 18. Title 18 242. That's where officials are violating your rights under the law. As we proceed here, you will also see Section 9, powers denied to the federal government. The migration or importation of such persons of any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808. The privilege of the writ of habeas cannot get rid of this unless there's a rebellion or an invasion. There was neither. I'm entitled to a jury of my peers. I was imposed slavery in violation of the 13th and 14th Amendments. The judges, David Cotty, that did this, has never been indicted. Therefore, he can be indicted right now. He has been indicted by me and the CIA. I'm ordering to, I'm empowered. I have the authority to give orders. Because the government, when the government does not do their job, then it empowers the citizens to uphold the integrity of the Constitution. I'm talking about the entire Constitution. This is now a showdown. This is what they've been running from. As I showed you, the President of the United States. And I will also show you. I said the entire judicial branch of government is corrupt. This includes the FBI Director Christopher Wray. There we have it. He is to uphold the Constitution of what he was called to do, and he did not do. Must be accountable for refusing to uphold the integrity of the Constitution. Again, Title 18, Section 241. Conspiracy to deny rights. That's right. Why do you think that we are still being oppressed? It is the result of the Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion. The Council for the Maryland Colony Edict stated, neither the existing black population, their descendants, nor any other black shall be permitted to enjoy the fruits of white society. This is why we are in the position that we are in. As I said, conspiracy to deny rights under Title 18, Section 241. I am the petitioner of that Constitution, empowered, having the authority to give orders. I have filed those indictments. And as I also showed you, this is before the President of the United States. Every citizen needs to see this video quick, fast, and in a hurry to know that the government is corrupt, what they already knew. But now, here is the evidence. And I am veteran Judicial Miller, petitioner of the Constitution, checks and balances, empowered for a showdown. They're a best man against me. And that would be, here we go. United States Attorney General, filed in the federal courts, but you ain't heard nothing from the United States Attorney General. Now let me add this up. You got the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland concealing the Constitution checks and balances in conspiracy to deny rights and oppress, because I have a status quo. That means that this exists. And that's especially regarding social and political issues. Now, the issue is the entire judicial branch of government is corrupt. The United States Attorney General has concealed this. It's corrupt. The United States Supreme Court has concealed this. it is corrupt. Oh, further corruption. Josh Minkler, U.S. Attorney. The U.S. Attorneys indict. Here's the indictment. Right there. That's signing from his office that he's received this. He has knowledge of this. Said nothing. Concealed it. Another crime. Well, let me see. That's a criminal act by the U.S. Attorney, by the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland. This is Josh Minkler. And then, as I showed you before, powers denied government. It's the habeas corpus. Now, when I show you this, that's the whole kit and caboodle. This, Office of the Clerk, United States Supreme Court. Oh yeah, that's that stamp right there. That's the stamp. It's official. Every document I'm showing you, the data is official. Here we go. Petitioner seeks Justice John Paul Stevens or Sandra Day O'Connor to grant stay as permitted by law. Now, petitioner is entitled to injunctive relief for my immediate release from illegal imprisonment with reparations from judgment of the proceedings in the Indiana Vanderburgh Circuit County Court that was so lawless the imprisonment pursuant to them is void. That means it ain't no good. And therefore, res judicata, that means the previous judgment of which I was found guilty is no good, is inapplicable. In a habeas corpus proceeding, the imprisonment cannot be shown to conform with the fundamental requirements of due process, and irreparable harm has occurred by the prosecutor's use of perjured testimony. Therefore, the petitioner is entitled to his immediate release. What they care about the release and the freedom of a black man, if they did it once, maybe accident. Now they do it twice, it's on purpose. Here we go again. That next month, February 22nd, is that correct? Yes, sir. Now you see the stamp, they seal, United States Supreme Court. Petitioner requires the judiciary to account for a man's imprisonment. The judiciary are the justices of the Supreme Court. Oh, I told you this was Lord, but at the same time, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and now Rashida Jones is with MSNBC, all black and done nothing. Call it shining shoes, call it Uncle Tom, call it what you want to call it. That's a criminal act, concealment of the Constitution, checks and balances. And this is the president of the news, not informing the public. This is how all that stuff up on the hill with Trump happened. You see what I'm saying? The petitioner's restraint is in violation of the Constitution and laws of the United States and filed a writ of habeas corpus. The writ's root principle is that government must always be accountable for the judiciary for a man's imprisonment. You got to be accountable while you got that man locked up. You can't say, got to be set free. That's why it started at $50 million and is now $6.75 billion. They call that continued oppression. They call that, these officials acting in defiance of the Constitution. These are criminals. These are not officials. Once you commit the criminal act, they have been indicted. And then what happens? You got members of law enforcement refusing to execute the indictments. This brought to you Martin Luther King Day. Holiday, baby. This one right here calls for a showdown. And then I'm empowered to stop inequality. I'm empowered to stop police brutality. I'm empowered to stop social injustice. Calls for a showdown. This is history right here. As I said, the United States Supreme Court caught up in the, crooked. You got the U.S. attorneys not executing the indictments on the crooked judges. Oh yeah, Josh Minkler. Yeah, CIA, take note of all this that I got here right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, and the President of the United States. The buck stops with the President. Harry S. Truman made that popular, made it famous. Got rid of over 100 workers for the government. You have to run a clean government. For that reason, that's why I am empowered. The government is corrupt. You have to empower the citizen. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And oh, what? Law enforcement didn't take my orders, a black man's orders. Are we back to racism again? Well, as I am empowered by the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, Dr. Martin Luther King put a smile on his face because we're about to stop inequality, social injustice, and police brutality as I'm using the Constitution checks and balances. And as I showed you before, the CIA, take note of that. Yeah, that's my reference number right there. And I'd like to take time out because this message was brought to you by Jay's Lawn Care. His motto is, we do it all with just one call. You give Jay a call to do that lawn care. Back to the grill again. As the sellouts, the NAACP, Derek Johnson, and a lot of them, the preachers ain't worth a quarter. It's all about money. So, as I said, if that's the case, then it calls for a showdown. And CIA, I need immediate money not to be placed as subservient. My status quo is that of a billionaire. $6.75 billion. I represent we the people. We the people will then have more jobs, but then have more banks to give poor people more money. More. The mores. Yes, I'd like to thank y'all. And once again, Martin Luther King's Day. It's time for the government to give me a national platform here. Calls for a showdown between me and their best man, who has already concealed this, committed a criminal act, and this is the highest ranking law officer in the land. No, he has to be removed from office. Face me, come to face, and have a good day. Everybody, happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day and the perseverance for us all to have freedom, justice, and equality in America. Oh, and I don't know what's happening with Sean Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I'm giving him call, give me a platform for this, and he ain't done nothing. So there you have it. Once again, they sell out, they are what they are. But we stand as one nation, under God, indivisible. Yeah!